Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live. I'm just going to give it a second to let some people hop on. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Hello, welcome to the live. If you're here, tell me where you are tuning in from. Welcome, welcome. Hey. I'm so excited, y'all. I have not been live in forever. It's been a really, really long time. So I wanted to come on here tonight and just talk to you guys. Okay, Brighton, Michigan. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know. I want to make sure. My audio is good to go. Georgia. What part of Georgia? I'm in Atlanta. Where you at? I'm guessing y'all can hear me if y'all commenting. I just want to make sure that my audio is good to go before we get started tonight. Sounds good. Yeah, okay. Welcome to tonight's live. Decatur. Okay, Atlanta in the building. All right. I'm going to give it another minute or so before we get started. But I appreciate y'all tuning in with me. I'm excited. Tonight, I am going to be talking about building your dream life around your 9 to 5. I wanted to get back into the live space and come on here and talk about that tonight because that's one of the main things that I hear often from the women that I work with that, they just feel like their job gets in the way and they want things to be different. They always say, oh, if I wasn't working a job, I'll be able to do this. But I want you to understand that the job is not holding you back, right? That's something that you're telling yourself. And so we're going to get started. For those of you that are new to me, you don't know who I am, let me just do a quick introduction. My name is Brittney Clement. I am a law of attraction and manifestation coach, also an inspirational speaker and author. I have been in this space for over 13 years now. I'm teaching this. And basically, I help women who are tired of working hard to get the things that they want out of life, who may be stuck mentally, to break free of their limiting beliefs and open their mind to prosperity by leveraging the law of attraction to be able to manifest everything that they desire in every area of their lives. And in turn, it just allows them to be able to walk in their purpose, retire young, and just truly live life on their own terms. So that's who I am. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you're new to me, if you are familiar with me and my work, and, so I can just say welcome. But either way, thank you guys for tuning in here. But we're going to get started. So tonight, again, I'm talking about building your dream life around your 9 to 5, okay? Building your dream life around your 9 to 5. So first, I want to talk about some challenges that you may feel whenever you are working a job. One thing for sure is time, right? Another thing is money. Especially in this day and age, of course, we feel like you don't make enough, right? To be able to survive in this economy. And so a lot of people are looking into different ways to bring in additional income. And just to supplement that as well, whether you are wanting to start a business and have that replace your full-time income, or if you just want a side hustle, right? And so the thing about being able to build your dream life around your 9 to 5, keep in mind that key word that I'm using, around. I'm saying that because you need it, right? You need the 9 to 5. If you didn't need it, you wouldn't be there, right? So you have to be there because we all have responsibilities. We all have bills and everything that has to be paid. And so we know that you definitely need the job because you want to make sure that not only are the bills paid, they're paid on time. And even if the job isn't enough, if you're not making enough, you know that it's helping with something, right? And so you want to build your dream life around that, because if you want to one day be your own boss, just be able to replace that income, or you just want to enjoy life in a different way. Maybe you don't even want to get into entrepreneurship, right? Maybe you want to just travel and it's the time because you're always at work, especially if you work a traditional 9 to 5. Or if you work, crazy hours. Some people don't even have a schedule. Now, I will say that if you do have a set schedule when it comes down to work, that's going to help you. Okay, that's going to help you because if you have a set schedule, you'll know how to plan around that. And so tonight, I'm just going to really speak from the heart here because I want y'all to really take this information and I want you to internalize it. I want you to think about everything that I'm saying and I want you to implement, right? You got to implement. You got to take action if you want your life to change because, in order to get something that you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done. And you got to be willing to make some type of sacrifice, right? And so starting with that, what you need to do first thing is develop a routine, okay? You have to have a routine. The good thing about working a job is it gives you some sort of routine. It also gives you accountability. You know what time you got to be up in the morning to get to work on time, right? You know how long you're there and you know what time you're going to get off and get back home. Now, of course, you probably have other things to do outside of that, especially if you're a parent, you got children, you got to make sure that they have dinner and everything. You just got to make sure that everyone else is taken care of. And sometimes you don't even have time for yourself, but that's why you have to build a routine. But you have to build this routine within your work schedule and also outside of your work schedule. Y'all let me know if this is making sense so far in the comments, okay? If it's making sense, drop me a 1 in the comments so I know. All right? And so when it comes down to building your routine, what I want you to do is definitely start with paper. You got to write it down. You got to write the vision and make it plain, okay? That's in the Bible. You got to write down everything that you want to do. Even if you feel like it's out of reach right now, if you feel like, you want to travel or you want to be able to buy stuff or whatever the case it may be, you want to have it written down because once you write it down, you can develop a plan for it, right? One thing I do want to say is you have to make sure that this routine that you're creating for yourself, it makes sense for you. Okay. And you got to take care of you first. So when I say take care of you first, I'm talking about your mental health, number one, and then also your physical health. That's important as well. And so first, you need to make sure that you set time aside within this routine that you're creating to work on your mental. I always say you got to give God his time first, right? And so you need to make sure you set aside some type of time. It's funny, I saw a post on Instagram yesterday that said people want to change their life, but they're not willing to wake up 60 minutes early in order to do so. I thought that was deep. Because a lot of people say they want their life to change. They want things to be different, but they are not willing to do something different in order for that to happen. And so you got to make sure that if you know what your work schedule is, and I'm using 9 to 5 as an example. Not everybody has a standard 9 to 5 schedule. But if you know that your schedule is 9 to 5, you know what time you got to wake up to start getting ready for work. What you need to do is make sure that you start getting up even earlier, okay? Whether it's an hour, whether it's 30 minutes. But what you want to do when you're building your routine is you want to make your job a part of your day, okay? Your whole day shouldn't be just working because a lot of times you may get up, go to work, you get there after you're done, you're exhausted and you feel like, man, the whole day is gone by. And then before you know it, you're going to sleep and you're doing it all over again the next day. Start making the job a part of your day. And how you do that is you start your day before the job even starts. That's what you got to do. You got to start earlier. Now, I know some of you may not want to hear this, but 5 a.m. in the morning, that's the sweet spot, okay? That is the sweet spot. I promise you, try it one time. If you've never woken up at 5 a.m., try it. A lot of times we don't wake up until we got something to do, until we got to be somewhere, right? And then life is chaotic. You wonder why you're always rushing. You got to learn to start your day from a space and energy of just flow, right? You want your day to flow. Try waking up at 5 a.m. and seeing how your life changes. I promise you, if you get up at 5, say a prayer, do a quick meditation if you have to. And if you never meditated, try that too. That also will change your life, right? But you want to put together a routine. Start small. Whether you say, you know what, I'm going to start waking up 30 minutes earlier than the time I'm supposed to wake up, right? Because then you're not rushing. Then you find time to be able to fit in other little things in your day. But I promise you, if you have to be to work at 9 in the morning and you get up at 5, it's going to be life-changing for you. You're going to feel like I have so much time in my day. You'll go to work in a more positive attitude, joyful, because you don't feel like the job has taken over your life. Let me know if this is making sense in the comments. Drop a 2 and let me know. I need to make sure y'all can hear me. I need to make sure y'all can feel me, okay? You want to create your life and what that looks like for you, and then insert the job into your day. Don't build your dream life around the job, right? Even though it's around, because the job is at a scheduled time, you still want to make sure that everything else gets taken care of first. The reason why you feel like you don't have enough time to do other stuff is because you're committing all of that time to the job, right? Especially if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner. You feel like, man, I don't even have time to work my business because I'm always at work. When I get off, I'm exhausted, right? You want to make sure that you make time for everything else, and start small. Like I said, start scheduling it in. Create a new routine for yourself, but definitely develop some self-care habits, okay? Now, there's a difference between self-care and self-maintenance. I want to touch on that real quick because a lot of time women confuse self-care and self-maintenance. Self-maintenance is doing your hair, getting your nails done, doing your makeup, going shopping, doing all that stuff that makes you feel good, right? Self-maintenance is the stuff that may not feel so good, right? Because sometimes it can feel like a task and it feels like an extra thing on your plate. Self-care, that's when you are just taking that time to spend with God, where you're taking time to read books, where you're taking time to journal, right? That's you working on you from the inside out, okay? Y'all let me know if this is making sense. You want to take care of yourself, work on you from the inside out, right? Because your inner world is going to affect your outer world. And as long as you are only focused on the outer and the things that you're seeing and the things that you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis, that's all your life is going to be. And so I want you to make sure that you decide what you want your dream life to look like, and you start inserting that into your day-to-day. Now, if you're going to develop a self-care routine, one tip that I'd love to give you is to create a day for yourself. Pick just one day out of the week. One day out of the week where you decide, this is my self-care day. When I first started doing this, my day was Sundays, okay? Pick one day out of the week. And also when you pick one day out of the week, I want you to select a time. Have a time slot to where you say, this is my day and this is the time. And then you got to do it. You got to commit to it. So for me, when I started, at first it was just one day, right? Now I got 2 days a week. But at first it was just Sundays at 8 p.m. Everybody around me, they knew, don't bother me during that time. Because that's my time. That's my self-care time. That's the time that I set aside to take care of me. A lot of times as women, we're taking care of everybody else, especially if you're a giver, if you're a mom, right? We have so much on our plates. We're taking care of everyone else and being there for them. And then we get what's left over, which is usually not much at all, right? We usually don't have much energy at the end of the day to even do anything for ourselves. Start putting yourself first and see how that changes things. I promise you, when you start doing that, life is going to be happier overall. You're going to have a more positive outlook on life. And you will find yourself being a lot more nicer when you literally schedule time in your life for you, okay? And this goes for the guys as well, not just for the women. I'm saying women because that's my audience. That's who I speak to, right? But this goes for everyone. You got to start making you a priority. But of course, we can't leave God out there, right? Because at the end of the day, God is the source of where all things come from. And when you put him first, he's going to put you first. You will start to see doors open and things just start flowing into your life out of nowhere because you set aside time for him. Don't just wait till Sunday. Okay, see, I wasn't going to preach tonight. But don't wait till Sunday to give him his time. Start doing it every day. So wake up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe go to sleep 30 minutes later. You decide what time works for you, right? Because only you know your schedule. Only you know what's going to work in your scenario. Everybody doesn't have the same type of schedule, but I want you to figure out what that time frame is for you so that way you can embed it into your life. And then when you get up in the morning, you don't feel like, oh, the job's just taking my whole day. Okay? The job is a part of the day. Life will be so much easier, so much smoother. Your mood will change. You'll go into work happy and positive. And also when it comes down to self-care, you also got to work on your physical health as well. So if you've ever thought about, I need to get in the gym. Anybody feel like that? Let me know in the comments if you feel like you needed to be working out, but you haven't been working out. And it's probably because you feel like you don't have the time, right? And so you can put that into your self-care time because it doesn't take a whole lot. Start finding things that you want to do for you that makes you happy, that makes you feel loved, okay? If you ever heard of the 5 love languages, right? Everybody has a love language, right? You know how you like to receive love. Whether that's acts of service, meaning you like people to do things for you so it can lighten your load. You don't have to do so much. You have so much on your plate. Another one could be gifts. Maybe you like to receive gifts from people. Another one is words of affirmation. You like to hear good things about yourself. Another one is physical touch and then quality time. Well, I want you to practice your own love language on yourself. Right? Because that's how you make yourself feel loved. That way you don't look for it externally from other people. You put that into you and life will be more positive overall. I hope this is making sense to y'all. Y'all talk to me in the comments so I don't feel like I'm just on this live talking to myself. I need to know. I see y'all here. Welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. But yes, I'm talking about building your dream life around your 9 to 5. Okay, thank you, Jada's Mommy. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad this is making sense because I want y'all to get this. I want y'all to understand that, the job is good, right? The job is good. You need the job. Even if it's a job that you don't really care for, that you don't like, you're just there because you got to make the money, right? You just need to pay some bills. It's temporary, but you still have to put it into your mind that this is a good thing. Because imagine if you didn't have that job. How would you pay these bills, right? You would be out here trying to figure it all out. You have to, borrow from this person and that person. And even if it's not enough, I bet you still would have to have more in order to be able to do what you want to do. So you got to be grateful for it at the same time, okay? That's your income. Your job gives you structure as well. Because I promise you, let me tell y'all something. If you're not a full-time entrepreneur and you've been wanting to be a full-time entrepreneur, you got nothing coming, okay? Because you don't got nobody to hold you accountable. There is nobody to hold you accountable. It's just you. So when you're a full-time entrepreneur and you don't have that set schedule like you do on a job where you have to get up and go to work and be up by a certain time and do this and that, you could be all over the place, right? And it's chaotic, but then you're also worried about the money. Because when the next dollar gonna come in, right? All right, I'm getting a little off subject, but I want y'all to understand that having a job is beneficial for you, okay? So also with that being said, don't quit your job prematurely. Don't do it prematurely, right? You want to build to that point where you can do it. And if you are trying to build to that point to where you can quit your job and go into full-time entrepreneurship, then you got to set some goals. And you got to really be consistent and put in that work towards the goal in order to see them happen for you in your life, right? Give yourself an income goal and give yourself a deadline to say, this is when I'm going to leave this job, when I reach this dollar amount. And if you're trying to figure out how much that dollar amount is, then what I want you to do is add up your total expenses. How much money do you have going out every single month? What all do you have to pay for? Pen and paper, write it down. Whatever you have to pay for, figure that amount out and multiply it times 2, right? You multiplying it times 2 because we need to have more than enough money. We're not just trying to get by. You're not just trying to pay your bills, right? Multiply it times 2. So if your monthly expenses is $3,000 a month, then you need to be bringing in $6,000 a month because your income shouldn't be anything less than 50%, right? So if you're not there, then that means you need to go ahead and get more coming in. Rihanna said, I need more of these vibes. Hey girl, hey, right? And so you need to double that. So you know that $6,000 a month, and this is just an example, if your expenses are about $3,000, you need to be bringing in $6,000. Now, once you're bringing in $6,000 a month, still set that goal to say, okay, this is how much money I want to have set aside. This is my I quit goal. What is your I quit goal, right? Figure that out, right? And you figure this out. You got to figure this out for yourself because you know what your goals are. You know the goals of what you want to do. So figure out when you want to become a full-time entrepreneur. Give yourself that deadline, whether it's a year, whether it's 2 years, and then you multiply that total amount. So in this example, 6,000 times that. So if it's 12 months, well, guess what? That's how much you need to have set aside in an account untouched before you quit that job. All right? Because listen, in entrepreneurship full time, it's ups and downs, it's highs and lows, baby. And you got to be ready for it. You got to be prepared for it. Because if not, it's going to send you back to the job. And I'm just being real. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm just being real. And so, and that's the worst feeling ever, right? We got any entrepreneurs on here? I know Rihanna's I don't know if you're full time, but I know you're an entrepreneur. But we know all too well, yes, the ups and downs, because you want to keep that income flowing. And it's not always like that in business. And that's with any business, right? It doesn't matter what you do. There's always going to be highs and lows. And so you want to be prepared for that. But in the meantime, let your job be your investor. I don't think y'all hear me. Let your job be your investor. Okay, because one reason why you may not be able to get to where you want to be if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, bring in some extra money, is because it takes money to make money. It definitely does. And anybody that says that it doesn't, they lying. They lying. Whether you paying for advertising, whether you got to hire employees to work for you, whether you got to buy your product so you can resell it, it takes money to make money. So let your job be your investor. So you can't quit that. Why would you give up on your investor? You need them, right? Besides paying the regular bills in the house, you need that to be able to cover everything else for your business. And so as you're building your dream life and you're figuring out what that looks like for you, you want to then make sure that you keep that job in the background, right? Now, whether you decide you want to up level to a different job, if that's something that you want to do, yeah, you can definitely do that too. But you may not want to be a full-time entrepreneur. You may just want to travel the world. You know, you may say, you know what, I want to retire. I don't want to work for anybody, not even myself. And guess what? You can do that too. That's part of building your dream life. You might say, you know what? I don't mind working, but I want to only have to work 10 hours a week. You got to create that for yourself. So you got to write it down, okay? Write the vision and make it plain. Write that down. Hey, Carla. We got Carla in the building. That's my client, y'all. So, hey, Carla. I ain't talked to you in a minute, girl. you got to write that down, right? And know that this is my goal, and you have to actively take steps to get there. Like, you cannot just wait for it to happen, right? You got to be active in the pursuit of your progress, of your prosperity, of your abundance. So like I said before, in order to get something that you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done, and you got to be willing to do it, and you got to be consistent. You got to show up for yourself. I know a lot of times we hear that word consistency, and that's a big word, y'all. Consistency is such a big word. Hey, Joe, we got my brother in the building. Consistency is such a big word, but let me tell you something. When you can be consistent, you build momentum. And momentum is, Joe, I know you can finish this sentence. Momentum is the hardest thing to gain, but the easiest thing to lose. I'm going to say that again. If y'all taking any notes, y'all better write that down. Momentum is the hardest thing to gain and the easiest thing to lose. As you're in the pursuit of building your dream life, as you continue to be consistent with your dreams and goals, right? Whether it's waking up early every day and putting that time in for yourself, whether it's going to the gym and working out, whether it's just reading a book and making time for yourself, right? If you continue to do that and you continue to be consistent, you continue to show up for you, you're going to start building momentum. But the key thing with that is you got to keep going, because I promise you, once you start falling off, everything starts falling off. You can lose it really quickly. It's the easiest thing to lose, but it's nothing to pick it back up. So I'm saying that because if you've ever been at that point where you feel like, you know what? I've done that. I've been putting in the work towards my dreams and goals. Whether you have been saying affirmations, whether you have been physically putting in the work, whether you've been working on your mindset, reading books, just getting your mental right, whatever the case may be. If you feel like you've done that, but you fell off a little bit, get back up and do it again. Okay? Because you got to push that positive energy into that. Okay? When you do that, when you have that right mindset and you're putting the energy into it, listen, it's going to wash away all that negative, right? And another thing with that, right, y'all, I'm just on a rant right now. I'm just speaking from the heart. Another thing with that is you got to make sure that you surround yourself with the right people that are going to lift you up and help you to go higher, people that are going to see more in you. And also, as you're surrounding yourself with the right people, you got to also learn to be quiet. Learn to be quiet. That means you got to just keep some things on the hush, okay? You can't be telling everybody your goals. You can't be telling everybody everything. Stop talking about what you gonna do and just do it. Stop talking about what you want to do and just do it, right? Keep that between you and God. Keep that covenant, because when you're putting it out there, you're spreading all that energy out, right? And if you keeping it to yourself, you're keeping the energy locked in with your dreams and goals. So just imagine if you got a dream, you got a goal, you got something that you've been working towards and you want to see it come to pass, right? Whether it is leaving that 9 to 5, whether it is making more money, whether it is being able to travel and just shop or do whatever you want. Imagine a tight bubble. I'm going to give y'all a quick analogy because this just coming to mind. Imagine you got a tight bubble, right? Or even a balloon, but you got a bubble or a balloon. And that dream and goal is locked inside, right? But it's filled with air, but it's in there and it's tight. Every time you tell someone about this dreams and goal, just see it as a needle poking through slowly. And the bubble ain't bust, but there's air seeping out. That's the energy that's coming away from your dreams and goals. So if you know you don't want air coming out or you don't want negativity coming in, keep it to yourself. Let me know if this is making sense, y'all. Because I'm just coming off the cuff with this. Okay? Let me know. I had some notes here, but I ain't even touch it. I don't even know what to say. Right? Now, while you are building your dream life around your 9 to 5, start saying the right things. Start speaking the right things to yourself, okay? And we call that affirmations, right? Like, first off, affirm the job. Say good things about your job, because a lot of times we're saying negative things. Man, why am I here today? I don't want to be here. I'm ready to go home. It's taking up so much time. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. You're just putting negative energy out, right? Start saying good things about it. Say some good affirmations. And I'm going to give y'all some affirmations because, listen, when you're saying these negative things, you're blocking your manifestation. You're blocking it, even if it has nothing to do with the job, okay? The law of attraction is always working. Whether you believe it, whether you understand it or not, it's always working in your subconscious and just unknowingly, right? You don't have to be consciously thinking about something. And that's the great thing about it. That's the beauty of it. Because if you know that it's always working, then let it work for you. But don't work against it, right? You're working against it when you're saying those negative things. You got to learn to start catching yourself. Bite your tongue a little bit, right? Slap yourself on the wrist, right? When you notice that you just said something negative. And if you realize you just said something negative, it's okay. Just counter that negative with a positive. Turn around and say something positive. So if you were to say, man, I don't feel like being here today, you can counter that with a positive and say, but look how much money I'm about to make today, right? Because I'm here, this is adding to my paycheck. You just got to kind of trick your way of thinking, so to speak, okay? You got to change that mindset because that's where it all starts. At the end of the day, here, okay? And do this for you. That's the point that I'm trying to drill home today is at the end of the day, this is all about you. I don't care if you're a mom. I don't care if you're a wife, an employee, a business owner, whatever the case may be. This is all about you and all about what's on the inside. Speaking of the inside, I want you to understand that you are made in the image and likeness of who? God, okay? And so I want you to understand that he is inside. He's not outside, right? A lot of times we sit, we pray, we talk to God as if he's external, but understand that he's in here. And if he's in here, that means his power is in here with you, which means you have the power to do it all. Whatever it is that you want to do is possible. Listen, heaven and earth was created in how many days? I said I was going to preach tonight. But heaven and earth, listen, what happened? 6 days. It took 6 days for the earth to be created the way God wanted to create it. And look how much he did in that time. How much time do you think you need to manifest what you want? Seriously, you need $1,000? You think it takes 6 days for that? It does not. It does not. You just got to understand that you have that power within you to be able to make it happen. The problem is you keep seeing yourself as separate from God. Whoo. Listen, y'all. I'm getting fired up. You keep seeing yourself as separate from God. So you feel like you don't have the power to be able to manifest and bring the things that you want into your life when you absolutely do. That's how you get in alignment with him. You got to see yourself with God as one. You are created in the image and likeness of him. He's already on the inside of you. And you got to also realize that whatever you want for you, he wants it as well. And so because you know that whatever your dreams and goals, your desires are, he's desiring them for you as well. That means you deserve it. He would have never given you the dream if it wasn't supposed to come to pass, okay? If there's something that you've been wanting to do, or you feel like, whew, y'all, I'm feeling the spirit. Ooh, Jesus, I wasn't going to preach tonight. But if you feel like there's something that you've been wanting to do, and you might have been afraid to do it, you've been afraid to step out on faith, all you're doing is letting fear get in the way, okay? Because you're thinking about what could go wrong. Start thinking about what could go right. Imagine if it did go right. And then you got to start picturing it going right. Like sit down with that visual and just imagine it all going right and everything falling into place for you. Like think about that before you go to bed at night. Imagine all these dreams and goals that you have written down. What would your life look like if you accomplished it? Like you got to become a whole different person in order to live a whole different life. Okay? And you have people around you to say things like, oh, you changed. Yeah, I changed. You think I worked this hard to stay the same? No, I definitely did change, right? Because you got to be a whole different person to get where you want to be. And some people are not going to recognize you, and that's okay. But you got to love them the same and just work with them differently. A lot of people aren't going to want you to go forward. Why? Because they stuck. But that ain't your problem. That ain't even your business, right? You got to just keep going, because you got to get where you want to be, and you can't allow other people to hold you back. And that's another reason why you have to keep your dreams and goals to yourself. Because when you share it with other people, they're thinking about your dreams and goals, and they don't want to see it come to pass. Why? Because they still in the same place, right? They don't want to see you go further. And I hate to say it, but a lot of times it's the people that's around you. But we love them the same and we work with them different. But keep your dreams and goals to yourself. Keep it inside. Keep that as a covenant between you and God so it can manifest. That's how you make it happen faster. Start keeping it a secret. Don't tell nobody. Okay? And be grateful. Just be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful for everything that you've experienced. Even the things that have happened in your life that you're not proud of. Or things that you would have not want to happen, right? It could have been a major setback, right? Because a lot of times as you're going through things, we question God and we're like, why is this happening, right? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening right now? This could have happened at a different time, or this could have not happened at all, right? But, listen, that's what's building you. That's what's building your character. See, the person that you want to become, the person that's on the other side of your life, that's already experiencing your dreams and goals, first of all, that person already exists. You got to understand that the person that you're desiring to be, the person who's traveling, the person who's a millionaire, the person who already has it all, the mansion, the cars, not even the monetary things, right? Just in love with life, manifested the person. That person exists. If that version of you did not exist, you wouldn't even be able to fathom it. The only reason why you're not that person is because you don't believe that you're that person. But understand that you are that person right now. You just got to get your mind there, right? Because that person is waiting on you to show up. And so you got to figure out who that person is, right? That version of you that has these things, what does she look like? What does she talk like? What does she dress like, right? You got to create that visual in your mind of who that is, and then you got to become her. Because understand that you got to become first. You got to become first. And so if you know that you're someone that, you wish you weren't working a job, right? And you could just be full-time in business and have your day to yourself, and you could just plan out your day. Become that person. So if you were that person, what would you do? If you didn't have to work a job right now, and you didn't have to get up and go to work, what would you do with those 24 hours? Write it down. Right? And then start taking small steps in that direction. I promise you, as you start taking small steps, you're going to start seeing doors open. You're going to start seeing things happen for you in your favor that allow these things to happen because you're moving in that direction, right? You're starting to build that momentum. Okay. And so I think my AirPod just died, but let me know if y'all can still hear me. I hope y'all can hear me. Okay. And so you got to keep going. You got to keep going no matter what, because once you stop, once you take a break, it's hard to build that momentum back up. Remember, I said momentum is the hardest thing to gain, but the easiest thing to lose. Okay, thank you, Rihanna. She said that y'all can hear me. Okay, good. You got to get your mind there. That's number one, right? Even if you got to trick your way of thinking, right? Start telling yourself stuff that's not in your current reality, right? Because you can look around and see what's there. You see what you're experiencing in life. You see what you have, what you don't have, or whatever. But you want to focus on the good. You want to have gratitude around it. But then you want to start telling yourself these things. Start speaking these good things to yourself so that way you can allow them to manifest in your life. Because the more you say something over and over to yourself, the more your mind starts to believe it. Even if it's not true. Even if it's not true. How many times have we told ourselves things that weren't true, right? And then we started believing them. People struggle with their weight and they're like, they could be good looking, right? But they're comparing themselves to other people, and they're like, oh, I'm fat, I gotta lose weight, lose weight. And as they continue to say that over and over, what happens? They start to think that, and they're really not, right? Somebody else is looking at them like, man, shoot, I wish I had your body, right? And they're really not, but they told themselves that over and over. Like, you gotta trick yourself into thinking that you're a millionaire, that you're a full-time entrepreneur, right? Like, you got to put in the work behind it so that way you can get to where you want to be. I hope this is making sense. I see we got some new people tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Valeria. Y'all know I gotta shout out my clients. Hey, Valeria. And Valeria, you can relate to this because she's a fitness coach, right? You gotta have that mindset first in everything that you do. And so, like I said, as you are building that dream life, start telling yourself the things that you want to believe about yourself, even if it's not true right now, even if it's not your current reality. Just start putting it out there and keep saying it over and over and over until you start believing it. Eventually, your subconscious mind doesn't even know if it's true or not. It's only going to believe whatever you tell it. So why not tell it good things? Why would you continue to talk down on yourself and say negative things like, oh, I'll never be able to leave this job. Oh, this job doesn't pay me enough money anyway. I need to figure this out. Like, you continue to speak negative, guess what? You're going to stay stuck in that negative cycle, and you're going to keep wondering why things haven't changed. You're going to find yourself setting these goals year after year. Y'all, it's almost 2025, okay? You're going to set these New Year's resolutions, and you're going to say, this is what I'm going to do at the beginning of the year, and you're going to be all hype and excited, right? And you're going to start off good, but then you're going to fall off. Why? Because you're talking yourself out of it. You're talking yourself out of it. You're not even telling yourself that you can do this. Listen, you got to be your biggest hype man, okay? Because a lot of times, that's all you got. All you got is you. You may not even have people around you saying good things to you and holding you accountable and keeping you on track, and all you got is you. And when you have those moments that come in where you feel like, man, I can't even hype myself up right now, that's when you need to pray. That's when you need to pray, because if you can't do it, who better than you but God, right? That's when you got to pray your way through it. And I promise you, He gonna give you the strength. If you have never meditated, do it. I'm telling you, do it. Like, you guys got to learn to have some type of consistent routine for yourself and your life, but definitely outside of the job, because the job is not your life, okay? It serves a purpose, yes. And we need it, right? I know you need it. I know you got bills to pay, but I want you to start enjoying life. And even if you love what you do for work, then great, right? But you're more to life than just work. You got to enjoy life and enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it. Like, life is meant to be lived abundantly, okay? And so let me see, because I know I had some affirmations here for you guys. And you got to, like I was saying before, reframe the things that you're saying, all the negative things, turn it into a positive, okay? One thing that you can start saying is, this job supports me while I create something better for myself. Start saying that. Even if you feel like this job ain't enough, guess what? It's supporting you. Remember, I said the job is your investor. Let it invest in you, okay? And just keep going with that. So I want you, this is what I want you to do. I already told you to make sure you write down your goals, right? Because you got to know what you're working towards. Set some deadlines for them, but I want you to start being intentional. Okay, it's one thing to write them down and they just sit in a notebook forever and nothing happens. It's another thing to just look over it and say some affirmations, but you got to be intentional in your everyday life about getting where you want to be. Because listen, if it is to be, it's up to you. Nobody else going to do it. Okay, write that down. If it is to be, it's up to me. Okay, nobody else can do it for you. You might have people that come along that can aid you in this process through life and that can guide you and coach you. But coming from a coach, I can't do the work for you. I can help you stay accountable, but that don't mean you're going to do it. You got to hold yourself accountable. So you got to be intentional. And if you don't have a whole lot of time, just start getting up a little bit early. Even if you don't got 30 minutes to get up earlier, set aside time to say, you know what, this time is for this, for me. Be intentional with your time, with yourself, and with what you're trying to do in that moment, okay? And when you get up, first thing you need to do is be full of gratitude. Don't wake up like, oh gosh, I'm late for work. Thank God for waking you up. Thank God that you got a job that you could be late to, right? You got to have that gratitude as well, and just really start imagining day to day what you want your life to be like. All you're doing is pushing positive energy towards that. Another thing that I want you to do is start celebrating. Start celebrating the small things. Celebrate yourself. If you get up 30 minutes early, celebrate that. Give yourself a pat on the back, okay? Because nobody else might, but you know that you did it, right? If you know that you took time outside of this work schedule to work on you, give yourself a pat on the back and be proud of you for everything that you do. Because a lot of times we just go through our day-to-day life and we don't have nobody to say, I'm proud of you, right? You got to be proud of yourself, but I promise you, the applause is going to come. As you keep going, people are going to see how your life is changing. They're going to see you manifesting these different things into your life, and they're going to be like, whoa, when that happened? How'd she get that? Right? Oh, wow, that's a big house. Dang, that's my dream car. She got it, right? And that's when people are going to start applauding you. But this is the work that you put in ahead of time in order to get there. So appreciate the small wins, okay? And just notice the abundance that's happening for you and around your life. That brings you even more gratitude when you can see these good things that's happening and you appreciate them and you tell God thank you and thank you in that moment and you feel that within. That's when the floodgates open. He allowed more to come in. Like, oh, she grateful? She happy for this? Oh, this was little. Let me show her what I can do next. Right? Y'all ever notice something like that? Something good happened and then something bigger even happened because you were just thankful for it? I know I have. Listen, do that. But just start taking small steps that's in alignment with where you want to be. Okay? Small steps. Start small and you can continue to go gradually over time. Okay? If you feel like, you know what, like I was talking about before, if you want to be that full-time entrepreneur, if you feel like, you know, I need to have a side hustle, I need to bring in some money outside of this job to help me get to where I want to be, then be intentional with that time. And when you're intentional with that time, make sure you got your phone on do not disturb for one, because you don't need anybody disturbing you. You don't need anybody disturbing you. That is your time, number one. And then number two, take that time to do some research. Research where you want to be. What does it take in order for me to accomplish this goal? Listen, Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Get out there. Hire a coach if you need to. But you got to be intentional with that. And then another thing that I want you to do is make sure you rest. We do not get enough rest, especially because of the job, right? You feel like, oh, I got to go to work. And then when I get off, I got to cook dinner for the kids. And then I got to be a wife for him. And I got to do all these different things, right? And you feel like you just don't have enough time in the day to even rest. Listen, you can manifest while you sleeping. You can manifest while you sleeping. Okay, I can teach you how to manifest in your dreams while you're asleep. I can teach you how to do that. But listen, you got to make sure that you get rest because you need the energy. You need your energy to be able to get up and do the things that you need to do to take you throughout the day. But there's a different type of energy that's needed in order to manifest, right? You got to have that positive energy. So you got to make sure that you're getting the rest that you need. And I want you to really overcome self-doubt. That's one of the big things I want to hone in on tonight. Overcome self-doubt. Because no matter what you're doing, you could be doing all the things. But at the end of the day, if you doubt yourself, you just wipe that all out. You just got to believe in yourself and believe that it's possible for you. If you have faith and you believe in God, that's amazing. But you got to believe that you can do it and you got to believe that you deserve it. Okay. And so if you missed that part where I talked about having God on the inside and you being able to manifest just because you know that God is already on the inside of you, after this live, I'm going to keep it up. I want you to go back and watch it because I started preaching during that part. So I want y'all to see it, but I want you to imagine your dream life and just feel the feelings, feel the emotions of it coming to pass, and just knowing that it's possible. It's possible for you. If that's all you're saying all day, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Just keep saying that. I promise you that's going to make you feel good. When somebody get on your nerve at work, it's possible. It's possible for me to get out this job, right? It's possible. Your dreams and goals are possible, but you got to stay focused, and you got to make sure that you're intentional with your time and doing what you can do around the time that you're at work. Like I said, let the job be a part of your day, not your day. Don't wait to wake up at 8 o'clock and start getting ready for work, and you know it's going to take you 30 minutes to get ready, and it's going to take you 30 minutes to get there. Like, that's making the job your day. No, get up a little bit earlier. Try 5 a.m., okay? I promise you're going to feel like you have so much time. You wake up at 5 a.m. one time, your whole life going to change. I'm telling you, your whole life going to change. You're going to be like, man, this how they do it? Like, you just feel like you have so much more time. You feel so much more productive. You get so much more done. And you're just so much clearer. Just try it one time. I promise you, you're going to love it. And even if you can't be consistent with it, I promise you, you're going to go back too. So give that a try. But I hope this was helpful tonight. I didn't know how long I was going to be on here. I just wanted to come on here and just kind of talk from the heart. Because, like I said, I got a lot of ladies that I've been... 5 a.m. every day for over 10 years? Woo, girl, I admire you. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. And it's life-changing. And Valeria, I know you get up and pray and meditate every day. You still doing 30 minutes? I meditated for 2 hours the other night. Whew. Listen, changed my whole evening. I couldn't even talk to nobody after that. I need their energy around me. I'm gone. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I don't need none of that around me. Yes, 5 a.m. is a turning point, okay? And so I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you're just getting on here, I appreciate every single person that got on with me. I haven't been live in so long, but I'm glad to be back. And I'm going to be more consistent, y'all. I'm going to be here. I'm going to keep giving you guys what you need, because you need this information, right? You need to be able to take this, apply it to your life so you can start getting results. You got to get where you want to be, right? But you got to do something you never done in order to get there, right? And so I appreciate y'all for tuning in. But I just want to leave you with this. Listen, keep working on you, okay? Don't ever stop working on you. I don't care how old you are, and I don't care what you've accomplished, because you could have accomplished a whole lot, right? But it's easy to unaccomplish those things. And what I mean when I say that is, when you've accomplished a lot, sometimes it just feels like, oh, this is just there. This is just normal. Even if it's the job that you're working could be a job that you prayed for, right? But then you get in there and you start feeling stagnant. You start feeling like, okay, I'm just here. Things go by. I want things to be different. And that's where gratitude definitely comes in. But just keep working on you, because at the end of the day, you are all you've got. Even if you got people in your corner, they need you. And so you got to be in the right space for you, mentally, emotionally, physically, even financially, right? You want to change your life. You want to build your dream life. It's going to take you putting the work in, because nobody else can do it for you. Valeria said her whole morning routine is 1 to 1.5 hours, meditation, prayer, scripture, gratitude, affirmation, journaling, and Bible study. That's my client, y'all. Period. That's my client, y'all. Yes. I love that for you. And that's why you're so successful. That's why you're so successful. Because you putting the work in. You're intentional. And on top of that, you're consistent. No wonder, right? And so y'all hearing it just from her. Success leaves clues. So if you know that you want to be successful, follow that. Right? And you ain't got to do all of that, but just start implementing towards it. You just start doing things for you. Okay? Create that routine. Figure out what you need to do during that time. And earlier I touched on self-care versus self-maintenance. Like I said, self-maintenance is, keeping your hair done, your nails done, doing all this stuff to maintain. But self-care is caring. Your mental, your emotional, your physical, your wellness, all of that. You got to care for yourself first before you can maintain yourself. And I hope that makes sense. But after you care for yourself, girl, have some fun. Please maintain. Please maintain. She said that she head to the gym at 6:30. Yes, I love it. So that's pretty much all I got for y'all tonight. I hope this is helpful. Y'all let me know in the comments if it was helpful. Give me some feedback. Let me know. Joe, I see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Y'all let me know. I appreciate y'all for staying on with me for almost an hour. I didn't know how long I was going to be on here. But y'all let me know if y'all feel like this was helpful. If y'all want me to continue to do some more lives. And I'll be here. She said, very helpful. Okay, good. She said, love seeing you back live. Yes, it's been forever. Oh my gosh. It's been forever, but I'm happy to be here. It feels great. I'm definitely going to be going live a whole lot more and being consistent with it and giving you guys everything that you need, okay? One thing I do want to mention before I get off, if you guys are interested, I'm actually going to be hosting a workshop in a few days. I'm going to be hosting it on Sunday. It's a brand new workshop that I created specifically for people who want to manifest more money in their life. Not just people, women. I only coach women, so sorry guys. But women who want to manifest more money into their lives. It's a Manifesting 5K in 5 days workshop. Woo, it's going to be lit, y'all. It's going to be lit. So if you feel like you might be interested in getting some more information about this workshop to know how you can open yourself up to abundance and be able to bring more money into your life, clear out some blocks, so that way you can be able to do that, send me a DM, let me know, so that way I can get you the information. But I greatly appreciate you all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. Make sure you take this information. I hope it's not falling on deaf ears, right? I'm not here to just talk to you and motivate you, okay? I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm hoping that I inspire you with the information that you're hearing tonight. Because listen, my whole life changed when I learned how to do this. My whole life changed. If you don't know my story, I'm about to tell you right now, okay? I was a single mom, raising 5 kids. Now, I only got 3. I only got 3 of my own, but I also raised my sister and brother. And this was since I was 21 years old. I used to work crazy hours. I worked 75 hours a week as a nursing assistant. I always felt like I didn't have enough money. Neither did I have time. Okay, I always felt like I wanted more. I needed more money. I needed more time. I didn't have time to do anything. I would just, if y'all know that emoji with the smoke coming out of his head, that was me. Okay, that was me. And I just desired for more. Like, I started studying manifestation, studying the law of attraction, and I just knew deep down inside that it's something to this. It's something to this. There were just way too many success stories of people just manifesting their dream life. And I got crazy with it. Like, I went hard and I just studied it and studied it and studied it. And my life started to change. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just try it. I don't know if this manifestation stuff is real. It's new to me. I'm going to see if it works. If it doesn't, oh, well, I can just keep doing what I've been doing, right? Like, no love lost. But I'm going to just try it. I'm going to start implementing these steps, these things that I'm learning, and just see if anything happens. And I'm just going to believe in it. I'm going to just go all in and just see. And when I tell y'all, my life changed very, very quickly. Fast forward, it's been 13 years now. And now I'm the coach. Now I'm the coach, teaching women just like you how to be able to manifest their dream life. Listen. If you're one of those people that feel like, you know what? Yes, I'm working this 9 to 5, but this ain't always where I want to be. Valeria, that's on here right now. My client, Valeria, 2 months after we started coaching together, Valeria retired from her job that she had been on for 25 years working for the government. Now she's a successful, very successful, full-time personal trainer, okay? Getting clients left and right. Y'all check out her page. I'm telling you, it's possible. And she's just one of many. And so this stuff is real. Manifestation is real. I don't care if you don't believe in it. I don't care if you don't understand it, right? It's going to work whether you believe it or not. Where you are right now in your life, you manifested yourself to that point. So if you feel like I'm not where I want to be, I'm unhappy with the job, I'm unhappy with the money that I'm bringing in, first you got to accept that you got yourself there. But then you got to also accept that you can get yourself from there, right? But you just got to put the work in. And I'd love to teach you how. I would love to teach you. So if you're interested, send me a DM. Like I said, if you're interested in the Manifesting 5K in 5 days workshop, let me know so I can get you the details. But again, thank you guys for being on. I didn't want to be long, but I hope that I have been strong. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. And I will see y'all on Instagram and see y'all next time. Bye.